morning, everyone. It's a privilege to have Mr. Udayant Malhoutra, CEO, Managing Director, Dynamatic Technologies, here with us at Aero India 2025. Thank you so much, sir, for your time. The busy schedule you have
Not
for
at
all
all.
3 days, and today is another busy schedule for you. So, Dynamatic Technologies, we will know a lot from sir right now. You started in 1990s with tanks.
Yeah.
With the tanks for the Indian Army and partnering with DRDO for the complex Arjun tanks.
Yeah.
So how has been this journey from the tanks, the development of the tanks, to complex aero system, complex aerodynamics?
Yeah, so we were actually a manufacturer of hydraulic pumps for tractors, for agricultural tractors. And in 1989, when the Soviet Union broke down, India had a lot of T-72 battle tanks. And we saw a little story in Times of India one day where the Indian Army was unable to get hydraulic pumps for our tanks. So we went and we offered ourselves as a potential supplier. It took a while because the private sector was not allowed into defense production, but there was a need for hydraulic pumps, and we then redesigned the products of the T-72. We started supplying the pumps, then the fluid couplings, then the distribution mechanism. The entire hydraulic transmission of the Russian battle tanks was indigenized in the early 90s by us. We became a developmental partner with DRDO for Arjun, and then with DRDO for some small pilotless target aircraft structures, which is the Lakshya. And that's really how, in a little garage at the back of our tractor pump plant, Dynamatic Aerospace was born.
Right. So, sir, now currently I see you are working with the big giants. You're working with Boeing, you're working with Airbus, and all the defense aircrafts.
Yeah. So the journey was actually very interesting. We started with a small Lakshya, then we started working with HAL Research and Development Center on the control surfaces of the intermediate jet trainer. And then when the indigenous production of Sukhoi 30 started, roughly 1/6 of the airframe was built by us. And we actually had a Dynamatic factory within HAL in Nasik. And it was a unique PPP model which HAL and Dynamatic worked together on to make really good products. In 2007, Airbus was looking to globalize its footprint outside of Europe, and we started making the flap track beam assemblies for the A320 family of aircraft. It's the world's largest selling aircraft. Now, if you look at these flap track beam assemblies, this is what takes the aircraft up and what brings it down safely when it's landing, because these flap track beams are what move the flaps up and down on the wings. And we are the sole supplier worldwide to Airbus for all three A318, A319, A320, A321 and A330 aircraft. And then with the success of this over the last 18 years, we've moved on to, this is flight critical. Also, airplane doors are very, very important and they're the highest safety features on any aircraft because these are pressurized cabins. We have succeeded in securing Airbus's contract for all variants of their doors on the latest commercial aircraft, that's the A220. So here you see a small emergency escape hatch. Yeah, that's the emergency door, that's a cargo door, and then of course we have the passenger doors and the service doors, but they're too large to put into this facility. We've also been a global best of the best supplier to Boeing Defense. And so we produce products for 3 major defense programs of theirs: the Chinook, the submarine hunting P-8s, and for the F-15EX.
Actually, I was coming to this next. With Boeing, you have a long association, right? From the Red Hawk systems, you started working with the Red Hawk program.
No, on the T7, what we've done is we worked with them at their R&D stage itself. We developed what is called the Wiffle tree, where you can do the stress analysis on the aircraft while it's in a static condition. And so we worked with their R&D center, we worked with their production lines, and of course, these are all great companies. We're also working with Dassault. So you see this is the world's latest, it's their latest aircraft. It's
Falcon.
the Falcon 6X will be the world's best business jet, and you're seeing major structures produced for the world by Dynamatic for them worldwide. Everything is global, it's all single source for all the customers.
So started off with land systems to air systems, and even you have done work for the Navy.
Well, for the Navy, we made the ground support equipment for the old Sea Harriers, and we did, of course, we used to make ground support equipment for all the helicopters, for the Kirans, for, various aircraft.
Yeah.
Those were ground test equipment, and the flying parts are what you see. And then also we have this new garage of ours. We started Dynamatic Aerospace in a garage. This is really interesting. We have a new startup called Dynaton Systems. More than the products, it's the crucial technologies that we've developed inside. We make our own PCBs, we make our own imaging systems, sensors, autopilots. Everything is deep industrialization, unlike a lot of the companies that in India have been offering drones and say they're drone companies. They basically get kits from abroad, essentially China, off the shelf. But these are all deeply industrialized. We've got over 5 million lines of software code written. If you see this, it's a system of systems, and I'll just give you an idea. So that's the Cheel, and that because it's 5 meter wingspan, 15 feet, it doesn't fit in here. We were trying to fit in here, but this goes, it searches, it gets all the data that's required. It comes to our ground station, and then we can feed it to these Katils, which are drones that are weaponized and that can go. So it's a search, hunt and destroy system of systems for the military.
Now going to the new generation of warfare.
Well, it's a return to the past, because when we started with DRDO 30 years ago in our garage, the first product was the Lakshya, which was something twice the size, but it was a pilotless target aircraft, and we were an aerostructure manufacturer there. Of course, we're a much larger company now with far deeper and broader capabilities, and that's what we're doing now.
Finally, one last question. You started with defense, all the Triforces, you have done work for the business jets, and now recently you have partnered with Deutsche Aircraft.
Yeah.
Deutsche Aircraft, which is trying to get into the regionals, which is coming up very, very well in India.
Yeah.
So how is this partnership going to work, and how it is going to...
So it's really interesting. The Deutsche Aircraft has been financed by the German government. They have what is equivalent to the National Aerospace Lab in Germany called DLR, which is closely associated with this technology development. It is a tried and tested airframe. It's the famous Dornier 328, which was flying with jet engines. It's been re-engined with the world's first SAF compliant, 100% SAF compliant engine, which is the future of ecological flying. And it's got all glass and everything. Now, this aircraft, if you look at it, a large part of the fuselage is being engineered and industrialized by Dynamatic. The wiring harness, entire wiring harness electrics is made by Sasmos, also from Bangalore. The complete engineering work is being done by Cyient, which is a great Indian engineering company. So in many ways, this German aircraft built in Germany is more Indian than a lot of the so-called Indian aircraft made in India. And obviously, when the government has ambitions to really take aviation deep into the Indian countryside, to connect up the whole country, go into areas where currently aircraft can't even land. This is one of the world's most versatile aircraft. You can land and take off in 800-meter strips, which are not necessarily even paved. They could be dirt strips. So you can, with this aircraft, you could open up routes in the Himalayas, in the Northeast. We can start wildlife, tourism, the islands. Yeah, it's fantastic. And the best part is with a very low break-even, this could revolutionize regional transport and regional aviation in India. So we are actually quite excited. Of course, we are currently exporting, but we are deeply supporting the idea of not just make in India and export and build in Germany, but make in India and build in India for India.
Right. In true sense, when Atmanirbhar Bharat, the concept started, it was like we are making in India. But companies like Dynamatic have transformed it to make in India, give it to the world.
Yeah.
Make in India for the world.
Yes.
So you are doing it perfectly well.
Yes, and now we want to come back home and make in India world-class products that we export, but for Indian consumers.
Because as we just spoke to Nils, he also said like every fuselage will carry a part of Dynamatic Technologies to the world.
Well, not just a part. I mean, it's half the aircraft.
Yes.
So,
a very important part.
Yeah, exactly.
Right. Thank you so much, sir.
Thank you, Chaitali.
We really look forward to speaking to you further again in
Absolutely.
some occasion.
Anytime.
And all
Thank
the
you,
best for us.
Chaitali. Thank you very
so
much.
Pleasure.
Bye-bye.